Thanks for tuning in to the May 2022 Mecklenburg IDPA match here at the Mecklenburg Wildlife Club in Charlotte, North Carolina. In this video, I will give you a tour of what this match looked like and hopefully pique your interest into participating in this type of shooting. It is way better than going to your local shooting range and banging away at a stationary target, and will make you a safer, better shooter. This match was a hybrid mix between IDPA and Southern Defensive Pistol League rules. It started with a short warm-up string. The targets are laid out like this. A non-threat on the left, the one with the hands, which is not to be shot. Then 2 threat targets, center and right. The areas painted in black are considered hard cover, so any rounds landing in these areas are considered misses. Shooters begin with the first magazine downloaded to 4 rounds only. At the buzzer, draw and engage each target with 3 rounds to the body and 1 to the head. The stage was unlimited, which means you could shoot until you were satisfied. But extra shots add to your time. This stage did not count towards your match score. Let's watch this shooter do the warm-up. Remember, 3 to the body, 1 to the head. Reload. That looked good. Here's another shooter.
Stand by.
He took another shot at the first. That also looked good. And now from a first-person point of view. Reload. Now, on to stage 1, which looks basically like this. The shooter begins standing behind this chair, weapon loaded to capacity. All remaining magazines are placed atop the table at the back of the stage. At the buzzer, draw and begin engaging targets. Each is required to get 2 rounds to the body and 1 to the head while moving, starting with these 2 behind the barrels in front of you. Remember, the black areas are considered hard cover. Now moving backwards on the stage, engage another target on the right. Now move further back between the barrels, where there are 2 more threats, 1 right, 1 left. Each gets 2 to the body, 1 to the head, minimum. Continue transitioning rearward, where there are 2 more threats hiding behind barrels on the right. When the time comes to reload, run back to the table and grab a fresh magazine. Then begin engaging targets again, starting with the closest, being this one. And if you need to, re-engage the one on the left, for a total of 21 rounds. I had the lucky privilege of going first on this stage, so let's see how I did.
Stand by.
Remember, 2 to the body, 1 to the head. Malfunction, great way to begin. Now left. Remember to keep moving. 1 on the right. Transition through the barrels. 1 on the right. Now left. Further back for this one. Reload.
Shoot.
And engage. Done. Unfortunately, I ended up with a procedural for not engaging threats in the correct order. Let's watch this shooter run the stage. 2 behind the barrels while moving, each gets 3 rounds. 1 more to the right. Move back between the barrels, 1 on the right. Now left. Further back for one behind the barrel. Back to the table for a fresh magazine. Engage the closest with 3 rounds. And finish up with this one. Done. Here's another shooter. That looked good. On to stage 2, which looked like this. Your fully loaded weapon placed atop the table, covered with a towel. The shooter seated at the table throughout the entire stage. At the buzzer, engage the bad guy directly in front of you with 3 rounds to the body and 1 to the head. Then engage the next 4 threats in any order you desire with 2 rounds each minimum. 1 is here on the right, 1 here, 1 in the center hiding between the barrels, and 1 here on the left. The order was left up to the shooter. Next are 3 more downrange, here, here, and here. But do not shoot any of the non-threats, for a total of 18 rounds. Watch.
Stand by.
Retrieve your weapon. Remember, the rest are to get 2 rounds minimum. Behind the barrels. Now left. Now 3 more downrange. There's a reload. And done. That looked good. Here's another shooter.
Stand by.
He's going left first. That's his reload. Another reload. Done.
If you're finished, stand up. Unload.
And from my point of view,
Stand by.
misfire right off the bat. Right? Between the barrels. Far left. Now downrange. There's my reload. I'll go with that.
If you're finished, stand up. Show clear.
This stage forced you to use your weak hand and consisted of 3 separate strings with a short pause in between each. Downrange are 3 targets and 2 non-threats. The stage required 1 string be shot freestyle and required 2 to the body and 1 to the head on each target. 1 string had to be shot using your strong hand only and required only 2 shots to the body. And 1 string had to be shot using your weak hand only and required only 2 rounds to the body. It was shooter's choice as to the order these 3 strings were shot. The stage was restricted, meaning that you could only shoot 21 rounds total, no makeup shots. Each string began with a shooter facing uprange, hands raised in the surrender position. Let's watch this in action. This shooter is starting with strong hand only and putting 2 rounds on each target. And stop. Next string was with his weak hand only. And stop. Now freestyle. Remember, this required 2 rounds to the body and 1 to the head. Done. Here's another shooter. He's shooting freestyle first. And stop. Now strong hand only. And stop. Now weak hand only. Done. And now from my point of view, starting with freestyle. Now strong hand only. Last, weak hand only. Done. Now, stage 4. Let's start with what it looked like. The shooter starts with a holstered, fully loaded weapon seated at the table on the right side of the stage. At the buzzer, stand, draw, and begin engaging threats with 3 rounds on each, minimum. Making certain to use cover and to not expose yourself to fire from any of the bad guys, but also not hitting any of the non-threats. Let me show you where all the targets are. There are 2 through the opening left with a non-threat there in the background. There's another hiding low behind this barrel. Looking around the corner right, there are 2 more that need 3 rounds each. Watch out for that non-threat back there. There's another one here. And 1 more hiding around the barrel right here. There was a lot of discussion about the best way to attack this stage. We had 13 shooters on our squad, and each came up with a different scenario on what they thought was the best way to run the stage. I'll show you, starting with this shooter. But it was difficult to capture everything because so much took place behind the screens. He started by engaging the 2 threats hugging the inside of the wall left. Now ducking around the walls right to engage several targets there. There's his reload. Back to the center to engage 1 right from this direction. Now peeks around the corner for that 1 hiding low behind the barrel. Now let's watch this shooter. He's also engaging the 2 hugging the wall left. Peeks around the corner right to engage another target. Now around the corner right for the 1 hiding low behind the barrel. Now back out into the corner right for the last 3. There's his reload. Done. And now me.
Stand by.
Reload. Down to the corner for the last one behind the barrel. That was fun. Stage 5 had a general layout that looked like this. It began with the shooter facing this non-threat, their weapon fully loaded and holstered and hands at their sides. At the buzzer, draw and begin engaging bad guys with at least 2 rounds to each, starting with the 2 right in front of you behind the non-threat. Jog right and get another one hiding behind this barrel. Move to the corner here and peek around to engage 4 targets as they come into view, beginning with this one, which will be turned towards you on the actual stage. Then this one, another here, and another here left. Remember, black areas are considered hard cover. Then peek further around the corner and you'll see this steel popper. 1 shot should drop it, which now allows you to move to the blue barrels, which has a threat hiding behind it. Engage that threat, careful not to hit the non-threat. Now move downrange to the wall and peek around that left corner. There you will find one more bad guy. Okay, let's watch this in action. First, the 2 straight ahead. 1 back around the corner. Peek around the wall and engage as they come into view. Now drop that popper. Get the one behind the barrel. Now 1 behind the wall, right. There's his reload. Done. Now from my point of view. Now to the wall. Another misfire. Done. Stage 6 looked like this. The shooter was to engage all targets from behind the caution tape. There are 9 targets down there, cleverly positioned so that no one position on the line gave you a perfect view of all targets. So it required the shooter to engage what they could see, then move and engage additional targets as they came into view. Each was to get a minimum of 2 rounds. Because of the distance, as well as the sequence the targets came into view, this was a challenging stage. Let's watch. This shooter apparently felt that the center gave him a view of each target that was good enough that he did not need to move. He's also taking 3 shots as a form of additional insurance. Here's another shooter on the stage. Done. Another misfire. And another.
Crappy.
Same thing I did at the other stage.
That's 3.
Oh, you remember here?
I'm also putting 3 rounds on each target.
I remember up in
Done. And that is what the May match looked like out at the Mecklenburg Wildlife Club. The club typically holds these matches on the 3rd Saturday of the month, and they are open to the public. You will come away from matches like this one a safer, better shooter. I hope you enjoyed watching that tour. Until the next time, remember, life is a journey. Enjoy the ride, and thanks for watching.